Well, hello there. Hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you're safe, healthy, and happy, and absolutely thriving. We're I'm trying a new thing here today. I've got the phony background in the back, and it says you're supposed to use a green screen, which I don't have. So I've got a totally white wall behind me here, and we'll see how this works. We'll see if it works. I've got a little bit of a time delay, so I hope I'm seeing a time delay with my voice, and I hope that's not translating out there to you as you're watching. And boy, if you're out there watching, let me know if you are witnessing a time delay. If my voice is not synchronized with my mouth, which is not a good thing. So let's just go right to Dr. Holmes here and see what we got today. When the time comes that nothing goes forth from you, then other than that which you would be glad to have return, then you will have reached your heaven. Boy, you're going to see what I have to talk about today is like right there with this. When the time comes that nothing goes forth from you other than that which you would be glad to have return, then you will have reached your heaven. In all things, right? Whatever it is. If you are absolutely clear that what it is you are emanating, what you are setting forth is exactly what you would like to have returned to you, then you're going to be in heaven. Then you're going to have reached a point where you will be thrilled all the time, glad all the time. So here's what we're going to do here. I'm going to try and keep talking and see how this works. I'm going to keep right on going here, and we're going to move back to this virtual background thing, and I'm going to go to none, and we're going to see if that was actually causing a bit of a delay, a time delay between my voice and the movements of my mouth. My hands even were right in sync with what I was saying. So anyway, we're done with that. So yeah, when the time comes that what goes forth from you is absolutely nothing other than what you would like to have come back to you, then you will have reached your heaven. That's truly an amazing thought. And it's, I'm going to read to you from Science of Mind 365, because this was also, this was today, which is the 29th of June, 2023. And it's really funny here. So here's this page, and you can see where I wrote, wow, on it, and had things circled and underlined. So this was just today, and this is in total alignment with what it is I want to talk about today. By the way, just so you remember, this is my CBD infused coffee. This is a fabulous refresher and pick me up in the afternoon. So here we go. This is Science of Mind 365. I know that there is a God power at the center of every person's being, a power that knows neither lack nor limitation, fear nor sickness, disquietude nor imperfection. But out of my personal experience comes the negative suggestions that arise from the race consciousness. If I permit them to, they act as a mesmeric or hypnotic power over my imagination. They bring up arguments from every person's experience, declaring that impoverishment and pain must necessarily accompany everyone through life. But I know that there is a presence, a power, and a law within me, irresistibly drawing everything that makes life worthwhile into my experience. I know that friendship, love, riches, health, harmony, and happiness are mine. I know that nothing but good can go out from me. Therefore, the good that I receive is but the completion of a circle, the fulfillment of my desire for all. So I refuse to judge according to appearances, either mental or physical, no matter what the thought says or what the appearance seems to be. There is always a higher power. Upon that power, I rely with absolute, complete confidence that it will never fail me. I have dominion over all apparent evil, which is merely a belief I no longer indulge in. Let's read that one sentence again. I have dominion over all apparent evil, which is merely a belief I no longer indulge in. I repudiate all its claims, cast out every fear accompanying the belief in it, and continuously exercise dominion over that which is rightfully, or that which rightfully belongs to me. So the idea being that we are in control. We're in control of our thoughts. We are in control of the positive and the negative. I just had an incredible conversation with a young lady who was manning the produce stand where we get our produce from the local farmer, and her name is Brooklyn, that's where it came up. She said her name was Brooklyn, and that's where I was born, Brooklyn, New York. And next thing you know, we're having a metaphysical conversation with a young lady who's like probably 13 or 14 years old on her way to Christian camp. But we were talking about the idea. I quoted Shakespeare to her: "There is nothing neither right nor wrong. 'Tis thinking makes it so, or good or bad. 'Tis thinking makes it so." It is our thoughts about whatever the situation or the circumstances that make us judge or discern that something is good or bad, right or wrong, perfect or evil, or whatever adjectives you want to put on it. The interesting piece that I had an epiphany about this past weekend, the interesting piece for me is that when we go through our experiences, the experiences of life, and in that quote from 365, it talks about everything that every negative thought I have, or negative input into my determination or my goals, is the product of the things that I have allowed myself to think or brought in from the thinking of others that negates what it is I'm trying to accomplish. And I know, because I experienced it this weekend, that there's some of those things, some of those negative thoughts, some of those negative ideas get planted in our psyche, and they are there. They're not going anywhere unless you find them, realize them, and fix them. That's why I referred to them as the walking dead in my head in the intro for today's show, my brain zombies. And I had this incredible revelation, and I'm going to have to relate it to business because that's what it was about. So those of you who watch the show know that I am an affiliate marketer. I'm a network marketer. And I have been in and out of network marketing most of my adult life. I had sworn off it forever. At the end of 1999, 2000, right around there, I was never going to get involved. A dear friend of mine started another network marketing company, and my beloved Lisa and I determined that we would be excited about being part of a network marketing company with him, because we would be the first people on or to sign a contract with the company. That was really, really exciting. And so I got back into network marketing in around 2005 or 6, I think it was. And I had a series of successes in the business, modest successes, nothing world shaking, no 5-figure months or anything, just nice, steady income in different venues, different companies over the course of many years. But always there was some factor that short-circuited the success. Sometimes it was things over which I had control. Other times, and several times, important times, it was things that over which I had no control whatsoever. And when that happened, unbeknownst to me, I didn't really realize this at all, but when that happened, it chipped away at my confidence. I refer to it as my mojo. It chipped away at my mojo. It chipped away at my belief in myself to be a leader and to bring people into my business, to help them become successful, and to build a successful organization for myself and for everyone who was involved with me. And I never realized it. I never realized that was happening. In the beginning, I was as confident and as big, if you will, a personality as you could possibly ask for. This first company with my dear friend, we were, both of us, in the front of the room. We had anywhere from 3 people in the room to 30 people in the room. And we, trust me when I tell you, we enrolled darn near everybody that we talked to. And the reason was because we were dynamic and we had an extraordinary presentation, extraordinary product, and it was real, and it was all good. I mean, it was wonderful. But some things happened with that company that literally well beyond my control. But bottom line was the company failed. The company didn't happen. Didn't even have anything to do with my friend who got me involved. It was the person who was the CEO of the company, who was not my friend. He had brought in a separate CEO, and Long story, not worth going into. But that CEO, bottom line, lost interest. He just lost interest. And he gave the company to another company. And this other company, I only later found out, was really a company I referred to as a place where network marketing companies go to die if they're like companies that are struggling, or if they're companies that have good products but no marketing, or they can't build the downline, that kind of thing. They can't get brand partners or affiliates to enroll. They wind up with this company that promises all kinds of autonomy, and they'll continue to be who they are and the company they are. It's just that didn't work that way. So my beloved Lisa and I basically sold a very valuable position that was going nowhere for like $1,000 and moved on. The next big one was a modest success with a company that was going to be strictly online. There was going to be nothing physical about it. It was going to be an online company. They were going to, they really were attempting to do something that a company I'm actually engaged with now is doing. But this other company tried it, and I think somebody mentioned to me over the weekend that they were probably ahead of their time, and I think maybe they were. But I also think the person who was running the company, he didn't quite have all his ducks in a row as to what he was to be able to execute what his vision was. He had an extraordinary vision. His execution sucked, didn't work. So I had really good success with that company. And before it kind of reached its demise, I was kind of partnered with another person. He was the person who enrolled me, and he and I, once again, we're in the front of the room. We were enrolling people. We were doing really good. And he decided that the direction the company was going, it was like two roads diverged in a wood, and he took the one less traveled by, and he was warned not to, because it wasn't time yet, and he went there anyway, and he took everybody with him, and basically what he did was self-destruct his own organization. Unfortunately, I was part of it. So and let's back up a second here. I'm not pointing fingers, and I'm not blaming. These are things that happened in my life. It was part of my existence. But what it did was plant seeds of doubt, plant seeds of a lack of confidence, plant seeds of not believing in myself, plant seeds that I wasn't good enough, that I couldn't do this. And so, and as time has gone by, then, and there's one more piece of the puzzle. Then there was a company with which I had a lot of success. I did really, really well with this company, but there was a twist in how we were doing it, in so much as all the people who were in charge of how we were enrolling new customers were really, really clear that if you wanted to keep your position, you could only enroll customers. You were not allowed to even talk about enrolling someone as an affiliate. So that was great. Something happened with that company. That was an interpersonal thing. That was something between me and the person who was directly responsible for how much I got to participate in potential enrollees. And that relationship went up in smoke, and I had my legs cut out from under me. Once again, not pointing fingers at anybody, but in that instance, I had this great success for 4 years, and over 4 years, I had never enrolled anybody into the company as an affiliate, as someone who was building the business with me. And so just adding to that dilemma of not having the ability, not being good enough, not having the tools to get the job done. So here we go. This weekend was they call it a training. This is not a training. This is an experience. This is one night, 2 days of one man, or the director of training for this company. His name is Mark Aceta, and he does a thing called The View from the Edge. And a View from the Edge is him playing. Friday night, he plays a character. He does like a one-act play, one-man, one-act play for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And then Saturday and Sunday, he did 7 each day. He did 15 total characters in these one-act plays for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, every single one of them having something to do with personal development, moving forward, growing a business, growing your business. And it wasn't necessarily aimed at my industry, network marketing, even though he is the director of training for my company. This was broad spectrum for anybody and everybody who might be interested in becoming more successful than they were in the moment. And during the course of this 2-day and change event is when I had this incredible epiphany around these brain zombies, these walking dead in my head, these enormous stumbling blocks to my success that I wasn't even aware existed. I actually journaled about it when I came home. We were in Nashville, Tennessee for this event. When we drove home, I actually sat down. Actually, I didn't do it when we left. I did it the night before we left, and we were still in our Airbnb. I did some journaling about the experiences that I had that I had simply allowed to steal my confidence, to steal my mojo, my belief in myself. And again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. The only finger I'm pointing is right, that guy, the guy on the screen, the guy in the mirror. That's who I'm pointing the finger at. I allowed those things to happen. Now, an interesting piece of that for me is, let's back up. About 35 years ago, I started my journey of personal development and metaphysical growth, studying what I could of everything. Before I even got sober, and I got sober 35 years ago, that's when the journey began. But even before that, I had already read Wayne Dyer's first book, Your Erroneous Zones. So I was kind of tuned into that. And if you go back in my history, I was part of one of the original peer group guidance programs in high school. I was already tuned into that mindset. If even subliminally, I was tuned into it. Excuse me. Sometimes my CBD infused coffee gives me a little, whatever that is. Anyway, the whole time I've been working on me, the whole time I've been studying metaphysics, the whole time I've been teaching metaphysics, I have been very clear that I have only and always been moving forward and growing and becoming the next highest vision of myself. And I was doing that in pretty much every facet of my existence, with one huge exception: business. My business was stagnant. It was a little blip, little down, little up, little down, little just nothing to get excited about. And it's a business where I'm really good at what I do. I am with a company that is exploring strange new worlds, new territory. They're boldly going where no company has gone before, and doing it in an incredible way. Hi, Tierney. Thanks for chiming in here, sweetie. I'm glad to see you. But they're doing things in a way that no one else has ever done. No one else has ever done in the affiliate marketing and network marketing space. And I am thrilled to be a part of them. But I'm still not experiencing the success that all of that should translate into until this weekend, when I discovered that I was living with these little pieces of BS that were living rent-free in my head that I didn't know about. Now, again, let's go back to, whatever the point was, that I have been studying for 35 years. I have been working on personal development. I have read half of Ernest Holmes' work. I have read maybe 2/3 of Marianne Williamson's work. I've read Wayne Dyer. I have read Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza. I devour. I even, in my old radio show that I used to do on the internet before anybody even did that, back in 2009 to 2013, I interviewed Dispenza and Braden and Lipton. I interviewed Lynn McTaggart, she actually came before all of them. I interviewed all those people. So I was really clear that I was growing and becoming, again, that next highest vision of myself in every single way but business. Now I have uncovered those things this past weekend that are holding me back. And the beauty of that is that the 35 years of study give me the tools and the ability to transcend those things that I now understand have been holding me back. That's beautiful to me, and it's wonderful to me. But I have a lesson there. I have a point for you. If everything in your life is wonderful, but this area, or that area. If things are not going well for you in some particular area, it's time for a little self-examination. Remember what was it Socrates or Aristotle said? The unexamined life is not worth living. We should be examining ourselves all the time to discover what is it that is holding me back in any given area. Or is there nothing holding me back? Am I clear that I have no stumbling blocks? Am I clear that my vision is clear, that the things that I require and desire in this life are coming to me nonstop because I have total clarity? There is nothing between me and that vision to draw that vision to me. Nothing between me and that infinite ocean of possibilities to draw what I require and desire from the quantum field into my reality. And if I know that for sure, then I'm always approaching or becoming that next highest vision of myself. But if I find those little tidbits, those little brain zombies that are holding me back in any given spot of my life, in any given endeavor of my life, then it's time to go dig into my toolbox and dig out whatever I have. What is it? Is it meditation? Is it prayer work? Is it reading? Is it whatever it is, whatever works for you, my friend, whatever it is, exercise, whatever. My beautiful friend Tierney Ray is on this here. One of the things I know works for her is her daily burpees. She's the queen of burpees. That's whatever works for you that gets you to the place of you can then look at what it is that is keeping you from being totally in integrity. And when I say that, I mean, my favorite definition of integrity is really the architectural meaning of integrity, which is nothing's missing from the whole. That's integrity. If there's a stumbling block, bringing yourself into integrity requires that you use the tools you have in this world that help you to transcend. If you don't have the tools, guess what? They're out there. You can use the tools. You can borrow my tools. If you hear me say something, borrow what it is. But if you don't believe in yourself, borrow my belief in me. If you don't believe in consciousness, then borrow the consciousness of someone else. Whatever it takes to take yourself beyond whatever those stumbling blocks are. And sometimes you have to do more work. I remember once one of my workshops, a young girl said to me, you got to find a better word than work. Work isn't a good word to use. And I was like, really? Why do you think that? She says, well, people have, they think about work and it's hard and it's difficult. And I said, anybody ever told you that life is easy, is full of crap? It is the work. They call it the work. They call it the work in every facet, in every realm. They call it the work in religion. They call it the work in philosophy. They call it the work in spirituality. They call it the work in metaphysics. It's all the work. If you don't do the work, you will have no payoff. I can see you guys are out there. If you have a question, if you have a thought, if you want to change the topic, whatever it is, please jump on. I can see everybody's watching from my Facebook page. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can see your comments here on StreamYard if you put them in on my Facebook page, but take a shot. I can't always see all the comments. If your comments don't appear on the show, I will absolutely look at them on each of the 6 places or the 4 places that belong to me where I stream the show on my YouTube channel and my 3 Facebook pages that I stream it on. I will answer your questions there. So please feel free to ask or make a point or whatever it is. So there you have it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I had to say today. The part of the tools always are what you read, what you put in your head, whatever it is that you want to make sure you are accomplishing, that you are moving forward in your life. Find the right reading material. In my industry, but in lots of industries, they say leaders are readers. I make it a point, and trust me, I'm not perfect at these things. I make it a point to try and read 30 minutes every day. It doesn't always happen. I remember once, this one time, Joe Dispenza was speaking at Mile High Church in Denver, Colorado. And before he went on, and he and I knew each other at that point, and before he went on, he was on the stage, he was late, he was tied up at the airport, blah, blah, blah. And I yelled up to him, I said, what are you doing after this? And he said, I don't know, I'm going with you. So when it was over, He, my beloved Lisa, and I, we went to dinner at the Elephant Bar in Lakewood, which disappeared. It was one of my favorite places, just disappeared. But we went to the Elephant Bar and we were talking about Joe's teachings, of course. And I said to him, Joe meditates seriously, like long periods of time. On a given day, I meditate between 30 minutes and an hour and 15 minutes, just depends on the day and what's going on in my life, in my world, and what's going on in my meditation. I said to Joe, is it every single day? And he laughed at me. He said, no. He goes, the intention is every day, but life gets in the way. Life happens. So my idea with meditation is to make it non-negotiable, make my reading non-negotiable, my affirmations non-negotiable, my prayer work non-negotiable. They're non-negotiable, but life happens. So don't beat yourself up if you can't get it done every day. Every morning before I get out of bed, I have now probably, 4 or 5 minutes of affirmations that I do before I even get out of bed, and then do 3 or 4 or 5 minutes of stretching before I get out of bed. Part of that is because when you get to be my age, you absolutely have to stretch before you get out of bed. That's exactly right, Tierney. Tierney just said non-negotiables in her life have been a game changer. It's when you make those things that are lifting you up to that next highest vision of yourself, when you make them a priority, then everything changes. Everything just goes up a notch or 2 or 10 or whatever. But make them prime, make them huge priorities, and as non-negotiable as you can possibly make it. It will, as she has said, change your life. So, my friend Tierney is making lots of comments here today, and she's making very great comments, and she's making comments about, I've watched her growth. I met her quite by chance at a convention for the company that we're with, and it was a great meeting. It was just a couple of words, and for whatever reason, we became Facebook friends. And now she's commenting here, and she has said her latest comment is non-negotiable wake up time, burpees, reading, and meditation have been life changers, game changers for her. I want you all to know something. This young lady is not yet 30 years old. And she is taking giant steps into a realm that the rest of us, some of us, I didn't, I started studying when I was in my 40s. Take an example from someone who is, quotes, younger than you. Everyone is your teacher. Everyone has something for us to learn from them. And I am learning from this incredible young lady who is my friend, who I'm proud to have as my friend. That's it for me. I don't want to ramble on. This to me is just an important subject. It's an important subject about a great, great, great weekend for me. And there's nothing like great revelatory things about yourself that change your life, that make things better for you. And I don't care what realm it is. I'm talking about business, but what happened to me this weekend can apply to any single aspect of your life, anytime. Pay attention, do the work. And if I can be of any help to you at any time, I'll give you some ways to get a hold of me here. First thing I want you to remember is that New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit organization. Please go to ntmedia.org, click on donate, and we are grateful for anything and everything that you give to us to help support what we do. If you like what we do, if you like the entertainment, if you like lecture shows like mine, or when I have guests, if you like those things, please contribute. And I may, that's funny. I just had a crazy thought. I'm not going to say it out loud on the air though. But no, remember always that the sponsor of this show is HempWorks. HempWorks.com/Ken Ludwig take you right to my page. The absolute best CBD on the planet. Now, let me tell you something. I use CBD all the time. I use it for relaxation. I use it for anxiety. I use it for sleep. I have used it for pain. It works. Everybody's experience of CBD is different. But for me, those things are all my truth. And this is the cleanest, purest, most potent that you're going to find anywhere on the planet. Both broad spectrum and full spectrum. 3 different strengths, 500 milligrams, 750 and 1500 milligrams in the bottle, and 7 different flavors or 8 different flavors right now. I can't even keep track of how many damn flavors we have. But it is the best you will find anywhere, anytime. at an incredibly ridiculous price comparatively. And the other thing I want to tell you is I'm drinking my CBD infused coffee, 5 milligrams of coffee in each one of these little straw sticks. I mix it half and half with my regular coffee in the afternoon. It is fabulous. I love it. It's got some chaga mushroom in there for you. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So there's that. I also want you to know that HempWorks is part of a larger organization called MyDailyChoice.com. You can go and find out more about the entire company. If you wish, just simply go to my page, MyDailyChoice.com/Ken Ludwig. You see that in the bottom crawl. You can find me on Instagram. I haven't done much there, but I'm there. Evolving_hippie is me. I'm starting to like that name more and more and more. If you want to reach me, send me an email, teamrocketnow@gmail.com. You can find me and my beloved Lisa at our branded Facebook page, Vibrant Aging, which of course goes right hand in hand with this show, Vibrant Living. And what else? What was I going to give you here today? That's about it, man. I want to get this back up. Remember, newthoughtmedia.org. Click on donate. So that's it for me. Just reading the final comments here from my beautiful friend Tierney. Yes, we are all each other's teachers. Thank you for this beautiful, empowering message. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I love you dearly. So, as always, I am immensely grateful for the great gift that is your time and your attention. I wish you all the love and blessings the universe has to offer. I hope you will watch me this week and every week right here on New Thought Media Network at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 o'clock Mountain Time. But until then, my friends, namaste.